Hello folks and welcome home, or specifically, welcome to Holme, a little village just south of Peterborough in Cambridgeshire, total population 636 people, and the location of our new Football Manager 2019 Creator Club. I have some explaining to do. We need to have a little walk around. So, a little bit of backstory then about how I've ended up in a village that I've never been to before, in the middle of Cambridgeshire. I've wanted to do a Creator Club series on YouTube for ages. Anyone who also follows my stuff on Twitch will know that we had a little bit of a go at it last year. We made LOLLUJO FC. It was a lot of fun, but it wasn't quite how I wanted it to be. It was all very much thrown together on the spur of the moment. I want to do this properly and I want it to be awesome. So I've been thinking about doing this for like the last year or so, and I was just sat there pondering it the other day and thinking, right, if I am going to do this, I want it to be epic. I want it to be the best Football Manager YouTube series anybody has ever seen. How can I make that happen? And I thought, well, what if I start at the lowest point possible, like right at the bottom of the pyramid, and work my way up from there? So I had a look at some of the databases that people have created to unlock the really low leagues, and yeah, they go pretty low. They go a long way down. I'm not going to be able to do that before FM20 comes out if I start right at the very bottom of the football pyramid. You know, I'm not that good. So then I started thinking, well, what if I looked at lowest point in a different way? So completely harmlessly, just Googled lowest point in the UK, and it turns out the lowest point in the UK is 15 miles from my house, in this village, Holme, specifically at a place called Homle FC, and it's like 9 feet below sea level. And the fact that it met the criteria of being the lowest point in the UK and had such a puntastic name like Home, that allows me to call the series It's Coming Home, allowed me to stand at the side of a main road a minute ago and welcome you home. I knew I was onto something. I got excited. Now, I've spent most of the morning today scouting around this village looking for somewhere that we can actually base a football team, because they don't have a football team here at the moment. They don't have a football pitch here at the moment. Now, because the village is so small, you can walk from one side to the other and back again whilst watching this video and probably have time for a sit down halfway through. It's a very, very small village, and there isn't much in the way of open, flat land with nicely cut grass. Apart from this, I think this is where we're going to be basing our team. This little area is called Homewood. That seems like a pretty cool name for a ground. So now that we've found somewhere to play our first match, the next thing that we need is a team badge, and that's where you guys come in, and this thing, that's where this comes in. Because those of you who follow me on Twitter will probably have already noticed that Homle FC now also have a Twitter, and the Holme Football Club Twitter account has been tweeting out for the last week, 10 days or so, asking for team badge design submissions, and I've been asking for them based on this sign. This sign is smack bang in the middle of the village. The church is over there, the schools are fairly nearby as well. This is like the centre of the village. This is actually the Home Millennium sign that was designed for the millennium when that happened, presumably. I'm pretending like I know something about it. I really don't. All I know is what's on the Wikipedia page, which allows me to interpret some of the stuff that's on this sign, because those posts at the top of the sign, that's where the lowest point in the UK is, over at Homle FC. I don't know what that is. I guess it indicates farming. We have some kind of bird. Looks a bit like a turkey. Not really sure what it is. And there we have the thing that Home is second most famous for, after being the lowest point in the UK, and that is that there used to be a floating church in Home, and there it is. Church on a boat, pulled along by a horse. It's awesome, and what I've asked for as our club badge, I want a modern interpretation of that. And as I say, submissions have been open for a little while, and we've had probably 20-25 designs come in now. I've tweeted them all out over on the Home Twitter account, but I have narrowed them down to my final 4, and I want you to vote on which one you want us to use as our actual team badge. So the final 4 are, I've moved so that I can put the badge next to the sign so you can see how well the badge reflects the sign and the village itself. So here we have option number 1, option number 2, option number 3, and option number 4. And if Future Kev's done his business, they should all be around me on screen now, fully labelled up so you know which is which. There'll also be, up in the top left-hand corner, a poll where you can vote in which one of those you think is your favourite. I'm also going to open up a poll on the Home Twitter account as well, and then combine the results of the 2 polls and we'll make a decision from there as to which badge is going to be the one that we finally use. Once we've got our badge sorted, I'll announce the winner on the Twitter account, and then I'll also open submissions for kits. So we're going to decide kits and colours all as part of one thing, and then we'll do another video like this where you'll be able to vote on what is going to be our finished kit. And just like with the LOLLUJO FC kits from the Twitch series that we did last year, those kits will eventually be available for you to buy as well. That's, I mean, we're looking a long way down the road there. I'm still stood in a village and talking in front of a sign. We've got a little way to go. Well, there's 2 versions of the sign. There's another one here in full colour, which is very, very snazzy as well. I wish I'd have had this when I was putting the designs out, because then we'd have had an idea of a colour scheme as well. But there we go. On the other end of the village, we have another copy of the sign. Well, I had hoped to be able to show you Holme Fen, but I've just tried to get to it from many different directions, and every different direction leads me back to the one access road that is closed today for whatever reason. So here's some pictures of Holme Fen I found on the internet. Did I find any on the internet? Probably not. I've returned to civilization now. I'm currently sat in a Krispy Kreme car park. Not had a donut. I'm just here because it was the first sign of civilization I found heading out of home. Or I did drive past Homle FC, who are clearly going to be one of our big local rivals. I need to check what division they're actually in, but they had a tiny ground. It was just a field with goalposts on it and nothing around it. So similar sort of size to what I plan with home initially. But I think we are going to leave things there on this first episode. It's not even really an episode, it's more an introduction to the series / let's get people voting on what badge that we want to use for the team kind of thing. Don't expect the series itself to start anytime soon. There's still a lot of work to do behind the scenes. Once we do get this badge finalised, we then still need kits. There's some more graphic design stuff that we need to do. I need to get the database sorted and home added to the database. That needs testing. And then there's other just normal series preparation stuff I need to do, like getting an intro ready and just planning how I'm going to do it and when I'm going to do it. And there's still quite a lot of work to do, but I do have a nice little selection of people buzzing away behind the scenes for me on it now, which is very cool. This is going to be something epic, something very, very special, and I hope you will enjoy it. And I hope this satisfies the desire from some of you for something a bit more like back in the borough. Obviously, Non-League to Legends is not going to be going anywhere. This series, when it starts, this is the reason why I stopped streaming regularly on Twitch, because if I'm going to do 2 main Football Manager series here on this channel this year, I haven't got time to stream as well. So I don't know how the schedule will look yet when the time comes, but we're definitely going to be keeping Non-League to Legend in its current form, and Home will slot in alongside it somewhere, somehow, and will be treated in just the same way as Non-League to Legend. There'll be two A shows here, so watch this space. My current plan is to get it off the ground at some point in December. I don't know how realistic that is. It's certainly very, very unlikely to be any sooner than that, but keep an eye on the Homle FC Twitter account would be my recommendation. If you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos and occasional weird stuff like this. And thank you very much for watching.